This is Nosey with Good Intentions, the podcast.
In every nook and cranny.
This is Michael.
And Kirk. Guiding your noses today.
That worked! I don't even know why we still do the intro, because I take it off every time.
Well, you leave it on every once in a while.
No, not no more.
You did when I messed up.
We need to take a day where we do a real good recording and just make that the one we do from now on.
What's wrong with the one that we have?
I don't know.
That was the first time we ever tried it.
I know.
Nailed it.
You think so?
I think so.
So you say. But no, why do I sound robotic? You think I sound robotic?
Yeah, normally.
Damn, normally? All right, anyway, I'll just take all this shit off so we don't have
I'm kidding.
Do I sound robotic?
I don't.
All right, anyway. So, today. All right, so today our topic, we're going to start with, which one would you like to start with, sir? Because I got questions for all of them.
Number 3.
Son of a bitch. All right, so the white guy wants me to start.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so all jokes aside, I want to work on removing the N-word from my vocabulary.
Okay. Just yours?
Yeah, because I have no say-so on what other people say.
Okay.
But
you think they should?
I don't know. And that's part of why I added this to our list of topics. Okay. It's because, look at you like, I'm waiting to say, he set himself up for failure.
I'm fascinated by it.
But no,
because, we still say, fuck it!
Stupid. Yeah, but I think the N-word, look, we're going to say it. I've said it several episodes. I'm not going to act like I don't say it. So the word nigga, N-I-G-G-A, unfortunately is probably the worst word in American history. Or it has the most volatility. Is that the right word? Oh, you ain't shit. He just, I don't know, nigga.
Did not say that.
No,
I don't know because you haven't finished the sentence, so I can't tell you if that is the right word or
I would
not.
say the N-word is one of the most volatile words in the English language. Is that a fair word?
Tell me why.
I think because of the history behind it and just, I do think it's not a woke toxic, but it is a toxic word. It is very negative. Obviously we as the black community have reclaimed it to make it a word of not necessarily empowerment, but just a word of shit. I'm trying to think of how to even describe it. I guess just commonality, just not empowerment, because that's not the right word, but just we've embraced it and try to remove the poison from it. And I get that because clearly I use it in the everyday, in my jargon, my colloquial conversation. But I do hope to some point get to a point where I just remove it from my vocabulary altogether. Because I do understand, especially with the older generation, they're not big fans of us using it just willy-nilly, just, hey, nigga this and nigga that. But I do understand at the same time, the newer generation, especially like my kids' generation, or just the younger generation as a whole, they don't, I don't think that they're as oblivious to where it comes from as the world would like to make it seem. Because a lot of people are like, well, they don't understand. I don't think the younger generation, they might be a little bit more loose with their lifestyle, but they're not stupid. I don't think that they're just like, where did this word come from? I've never heard it used in a bad way. You know what I mean? But I think that and again, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for all black people. I do want to work on, I'm not saying that I'll succeed, but I would like to at least reduce my usage of it. And you'll probably hear me say it on the next couple episodes, but that's besides the point. I would like to reduce or remove it from my vocabulary, but just because there's a lot of bad history behind it. And I'm not quite sure how to remove it from my vocabulary because I've been using it for 36 plus years or whatever you want to call it. I mean, obviously not when I was a baby, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm 36, I've been using it.
In the womb.
You stupid. My nigga. Mama. My nigga. But no, I would like to get to a point. And the reason why I wanted to bring this topic up, what do white people think when y'all hear black people using it? Like, not to you, but like if you were in Belk's or Macy's and you heard two black people like, man, nigga, that shit crazy. Ha ha ha. Does that make y'all is twinge the right word? Twinge? Cringe, excuse me. Does that make y'all cringe? Is it uncomfortable? Do you like, oh, ooh?
No.
And you're like, that's them niggas.
No.
I'm probably going to use it excessively in this episode.
But apparently.
To emphasize the point.
No, but I mean, I will say, I've heard white people say it, and I'm like, ooh, here we go.
Okay, so it is a little cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Because I try to not use it around white. Obviously, you're white, but you're my homeboy, and there's not 5 other white people sitting there. So we're having a conversation. People can hear it and see it, obviously, but we converse.
Now they can because we're doing video on YouTube.
but I guess obviously there's a level of comfort between me and you. And then also there's not a room of people. There is a room of people listening, but there's not.
But they're not real.
They're real, but they're not in the moment.
Not until later.
Yeah, they hear it after the fact. Yeah. But so we do talk to them every once in a while, though. Hey, y'all. But no, I've wondered what white people think when they hear us using it. Whether it's, I guess I have to use the word empowerment, but I don't think nigga is empowering. But I wonder what white people think when they're like, oh, they call each other the N-word. Because I know that some white people are like, well, they say it, why we can't say it? And I'm sure white people don't be sitting at home and be like, oh, those African Americans are just crazy. Ha ha ha. I'm sure that white people be like, them niggas stupid.
No.
So when you see black folks on TV, you be like, those African Americans, oh, they're so silly.
I think most people now they say black.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm not white.
Don't you think?
Fuck, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm a black dude. I say nigga.
Well, like my grandpa said it.
Like in a derogatory way?
Not really.
Or like an encompassing those
just
black people?
Just sort of like, oh, there's Joe.
I don't think we go by Joe.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like,
yeah.
You know.
You look like, I don't want to tread lightly.
Like, oh, the local post office, our new postman.
No.
I was like, oh, okay.
Set the scene while you prepare your grapes.
Jeffrey just got hired at the post office.
So he said N-word got hired at the post office.
Uh-huh.
Like just willy-nilly.
Uh-huh.
Was it weird?
Yeah.
It was?
It was. Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
It was. Sorry, I was getting my grapes together. Let me tell you what Michael does now that we got the video.
You keep talking to the camera.
Michael likes to wait until I'm doing something and then go, right, Kirk?
But that's not inconveniencing your mouth.
Well, but I was looking over here.
Yeah, you'd be all right.
So you couldn't hear me. See, there's a difference in the sound.
Excusez-moi.
That was. And it calls me out that I'm not beside the microphone.
You're all right.
But anyway.
I make it sound good.
But, yeah.
You still look uncomfortable as hell.
He'd be like, the sky's blue. They hired Joe over here at the post office.
Give me the full sentence.
I can't.
Hence, obviously not. Just say Michael instead of N-word.
These
Michaels.
Did you see they hired Michael at the post office?
Okay.
They hired a Michael at the post office.
Okay. Yeah. That was it. Okay. But what? It was just an observation. He inserted N-word.
Yeah, my uncle was worse. Okay. My uncle, his had a little hate behind it.
Oh, damn.
Like we'd be in a restaurant and he'd go,
you see my eyebrows?
Look. And he would say it, about somebody that was in the restaurant.
And they weren't even doing anything to him?
Not really. No.
I think that's a yes or no question. You gave me a maybe.
Not really. Well, I mean, whether or not he thought that they were doing quote unquote something to him, I don't think so.
They weren't inconveniencing him.
They weren't hitting him. They might have, he say they might be loud.
Oh, yeah, we tend to be loud. Yeah, I'm not delusional.
So loud. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he made it like they were causing a scene.
You're right, and they weren't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
does they bother you?
Fuck no.
Because when people say they about the queers, it doesn't bother me either.
Yeah, I'm not bothered by it. Because you're talking about a group.
But some people are like, oh, why are they? And I'm
what other pronoun would you use?
That's what I think.
Because you're not just specifying sex or gender.
Well, I think it's us and them. It's sort of that.
I'm not offended by
that mentality. You know what I mean? I think that's the premise of it.
Well, but I'm not even offended by you people. If you're talking about our group, I know some people are offended by it, and I get that.
I love
you people
when people say you people. I love it. I think that's so funny because there's always one person that goes you people. Always one, and that is so funny.
Dramatic as fuck.
Are you speaking for the whole community right now?
No, I'm speaking for me.
Gotcha.
This one is about just me.
Well, I guess my question to you as a white woman is why do you like the word?
What do you mean, do I like the word?
Do you like to say it?
I think just culturally, I grew up in it. We say the N-word.
Uh-huh.
And
why do you think if you want to stop it
right
for yourself,
yeah,
you must not think that y'all have recaptured the night.
I just think I've gotten to a certain
level.
I think that I've gotten to a certain age where I probably should, and this is, I know we joke that I pander, but this is for one moment, we being for real. I don't think it's as empowering as we say it is. And people are going to disagree, and that's fine, and I don't have a problem with that. But I don't think it uplifts the black community as much as we really think it does, because at least for myself. Again, this is just my opinion. This is not the whole community. Normally I joke and say the black community, but this is just me today. If it was that empowering and we reversed or took the poison out of it, then I wouldn't be self-conscious about saying it in front of people who aren't black. If it no longer has a bad connotation behind it, I wouldn't be self-conscious about saying nigga in front of people who are not black.
Do you ever say it because you're like, can't? Do you know what I mean? I always wonder.
I may joke, like I fuck with you about it, or other white people, but like in general, no. I don't.
What other white people are you fucking with?
I don't really hang out with any, not by choice. I just proximity.
By choice.
No, I'm done with you. This nigga crazy.
You've called me that before.
I have.
A couple of times on the podcast.
But see, I'm
Macaroni and cheese was like, really? I got a text. Every time you've done it, he's texted me like, there he goes again.
Oh, he
thinks it's funny.
He's African American. So he can say it too. But no,
he doesn't call me that.
Well, I'm not really calling you one. I guess I am. Whatever. But no, I do want to work on removing. Because like I said, if I felt it was embracing or whatever word you want to use to spin it as positive.
Do you say it positively?
Yeah. I mean, only time I say it in a bad way is I will differentiate and I will be like, black people or niggas. But it's still an AS.
But that's bad.
Yeah. And that's also why I want to stop saying it. I'm working on it. It ain't an overnight process.
But also, that's bad.
Yeah,
right? When you're doing the comparison.
Yeah, because I'll say it. I'll give you a prime example.
But also, can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, do you think?
I just joke that you've called me that on the podcast.
Okay.
But in general, when I hear somebody say that word, another black person, I just assume they're talking about a black person.
Okay.
So far, I haven't been wrong.
Yeah.
They've talked about it. So it's a word that's only able to be used by black people.
Right.
And it's only used toward black people. By black people. Yeah. Fubu. For us, by us.
Or boo-foo.
Or what was it? By us, against us.
What's that?
Like when you're saying,
oh, yeah.
Black people versus
niggas.
By the way, on the camera, I didn't say that. He said that.
I'm saying it. He ain't saying it. But no, I have. Because
somebody's going to be like, it sounded like Kirk said that.
They're going to cut it up and chop it and put my word when I said it in front of when you not almost.
Right. I didn't almost say it.
But no, because I have definitely used it and been like I'll say like, I don't club anymore. I go to a bar, obviously, or a sports bar. But I don't club. I'm kind of past that. Twice a year. And I don't stay long enough for anything stupid to happen. I might stay an hour and leave. But, and I've definitely been like, there's a bunch of niggas in here. And I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about a bunch of idiots. And I've used it in a negative term. Well, I don't really go into white establishments.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. And see, that's fucked up.
That's negative.
I'm wrong for that. See what I'm saying? And so I want to remove it as a whole. But I'll differentiate and
be like, do you think that's how it's being used a lot?
As in, they're a bunch of idiots? By white people or black people or just in general?
I mean, we're just assuming that white people don't say that word anymore.
You crazy as fuck.
What I mean is, for the conversation, we're assuming there's no white people that say that word.
And just black people? Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's black folks. Them some niggas, them black people. And I've
heard it a lot.
The difference?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And so I want to stop doing that. And I want to eventually remove it from my vocabulary, period. Because I shouldn't describe, and again, parts of this is being serious. I'm not pandering to the black community. I don't like that there's times when I use it in a negative way towards people of my culture. Because that's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't be like.
But we say white trash.
Yeah, but how hateful is white trash versus calling not white people calling black people niggas, but just a black person negatively calling other black people niggers?
I don't know. Is it the same?
I don't know. How offended are white people when you call them white trash? I don't know because I'm not white. So
usually, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Usually they, you already sort of know.
Oh, so it's not something they even brush off like, why are you calling me white trash?
Nah.
They just roll with it?
No.
I don't know. Because when I usually say it, it's usually like a one-on-one conversation with other black people. Like I'll say.
When you say white trash?
You stupid. I don't think I ever say white trash. It doesn't even pop into my mind.
Or trash.
I've said trash, but not in a cultural sense. I've been like trash, like your outfit is trash or that person's trash because they don't.
Pointed at me. You saw that.
Shut up. Or I'll be like, that person is trash. Like they trash. But I mean like they have nothing going for themselves. Not they're a particular ethnicity.
Little G.
You stupid. From last week's episode, even though we have the same clothes on.
How's your week been?
Fabulous. 2 hours later. But no. So I think that we as a culture might need to work on, and I'm just a suggestion, not a command or an order. Who the fuck am I? But I do think it might behoove us to stop using it, at least to describe downtrodden or the lower tier of black people. Because at the end of the day, we're still all black people. And so is it fair to label lesser tiered black people as niggas? Even if you don't put the ER on it, you know what I mean? And so I would like to get away from that. I don't know how fast it's going to happen. I'm sure, again, you'll hear some episodes. They will hear some episodes with some N-bombs. But I don't know. I mean, again, I do wonder what white people think when they hear a group of black folks using it. Like just loosely, like in conversation, very comfortably.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm not like...
So you've never heard him...
I'm not like, wow, listen to that.
Those black guys, don't you use it?
I don't care.
Right.
But I mean, I just assume, that conversation's not for me.
You're excluded. That's
you know what I mean?
Demo.
I'm not going to be like, hi guys, can I join the conversation? No.
Right. Not hi guys. Because the same, I mean, but.
Hi fellas.
You stupid. Am I one of your fellow N-words? No. But nah, because I had a teacher tell me, I think it was a 9th grade or 10th grade. I was in the bathroom talking to one of my constituents, my fellow African Americans. Yes. And boy, nigga, you crazy, ha ha ha. And there was a white teacher who was like, don't use that word in here. And I wanted to be like, well, you ain't black, so you can't tell me when and where I can use the N-word. Because I do believe that. But I can get, from the outside looking in of somebody who's not of the same culture as me, I can get where this person's like, that might not be the best word choice. You know what I mean?
True.
And maybe he was indirectly trying to teach me something. I have no idea. That was 20 years ago. Who knows? But so, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's something I should just take it, work on removing it from my vocabulary just to kind of, because my kids don't say it. And they're well within their rights to N-word this and N-word that. And obviously, only 2 of them are really old enough to even really use the word. But in general, because I had the conversation with my oldest. I explained to her where the word comes from. And I could tell it was probably 2-ish years ago, maybe 3 years ago. She was probably about 9. And my dumb ass, it was probably too soon to have that conversation. I'm sure it went way over her head.
I don't know though. She's pretty with it.
She's a little bright.
Yeah.
She's a little sharp.
She's pretty with it.
Yeah, but I don't know if at 9 the impact of it was as, I don't know the right word, but I don't think at 9 she worried about Fortnite, Minecraft, shit that 9-year-olds worry about. So I think maybe that was, I'm pretty sure that was a little too soon to have that deep of a conversation. But I did explain to her, I didn't say, hey, go use it. I just told her, don't let a person, specifically a white person, call her that. And I explained why. And I don't know if that stuck with her or not. She may have just heard him like, okay, Dad, have a good day, and jumped out the car and went into class. You know what I mean? I have no idea.
I don't know. You should ask her.
I am, now that I've thought about it.
What do you think? Do you remember that time? Because she listened.
I'm doing shit. She ain't supposed to be listening. But anyway.
But she is.
Yeah. I'm sure she is. Because if I don't tell you twice to stop listening, you're probably still listening.
Oh, she's still listening. She's fully still listening.
Absolutely. So, yeah, just something I want to work on. You have anything you want to add, sir?
I guess part of me is there, like music. There's a lot of new rappers on the scene. Yeah. And they seem to be pretty fond of the word.
The N-word.
And part of me is like, if you're going to say it, release it as a music video, as a song, as a thing. Like, at a certain point, you're just telling everybody, let's use this.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the goal, cool.
Right. Because music is universal at this point.
Right.
Especially hip hop.
But I mean, like, I think about, there's other cultures. We're now not, they live in their country, we live in this country, they live in their country. We're not, the world is so small now because we can talk to anybody, anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I can literally, if I go hard enough, not go hard, but like search enough or find the right follower, I follow some, I can follow somebody who's literally on the other side of the world.
Right. Right.
And so culture is cross-pollinating, I guess would be, you get what I'm saying? Like they're cross-influencing each other. So cross-pollinating. Like their cultures that are on the other side of the world are influencing us and vice versa.
Right. So my thing is, other countries that are here that this music is getting to, because it's,
Drake is selling records around the world, not just in the continent of the, you know what I mean?
Are they under the same?
Yeah.
Like we know not to say that word
because of America's history.
Quite.
Yeah.
Because we live here.
Right.
But do they know in China? Do they know in Japan? Do they know in
New Zealand?
Do they know in Australia? Like,
Greece,
you know what I'm
Italy,
saying? Like Greece, Italy.
Yeah.
So you're essentially saying, here's this word, have at.
Yeah. And they can recite that shit verbatim.
Right.
From front to back.
Right. Like I know all the words.
Yes, sir.
To Lil' Kim's How Many Licks. And I know exactly when to stop.
Reciting the words?
Saying words out loud. Absolutely. Or mouthing them. Mm-hmm. I know exactly, there's three. And I know where all three, there's only three in the whole song.
The fact that you know there's only three, at least you took the time to go, and then you can say all the rest of the words.
There's three.
Is it literally three?
There's literally three moments.
See what I'm saying?
There's three. And I know exactly when they're coming. Yeah. I know exactly when they're over.
See what I'm saying? So that's what but there was a time when Kendrick Lamar was on stage. I don't know if he pulled her on stage or whatever. There's a white girl that got on stage. He gave her the mic and she was reciting the music. And she dropped the N-word.
Okay, I think I remember.
You remember that?
Was it? I don't think it was Kendrick Lamar.
It wasn't Kendrick? It was a big time. It wasn't like an underground rapper.
No,
it wasn't Kendrick.
Maybe it was. I don't think it was him. It was.
Wasn't Kendrick?
Convict music. Akon. It was Akon. It was an Akon. It was an Akon concert. Maybe I might be old.
Well,
maybe there might be a Kendrick Lamar example as well. But it happened with Akon years ago. Anyway, we'll go with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, he stopped her and was like, you can't say that.
But my thing is, girl, it's your song. One. You picked her.
Yeah.
And you picked her in the part of the song where you have that word.
Yes. So you set her up for failure.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, they know the song.
Correct.
And again, like we said earlier, the younger generation, they don't see it
at all.
Yeah. Our grandparents and parents and so on and so forth, they know the hate behind the word. Our kids and kids, they don't know. I mean, again, they're not delusional to the fact that it at one time was a bad word.
Right.
But they don't use it. Yeah. They for the most part, they probably haven't even experienced being called an N-word.
Right.
I'm not saying none of them have. I'm just saying the majority probably haven't. I'm sure that my daughter's probably never been called a nigger with an ER.
Right.
Ever.
Macaroni and cheese has.
I've been called one too. But I'm just saying.
I was in the car.
Damn.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was awkward as fuck.
It was bad. Well, here's the problem.
He went off?
No. He wasn't in the car.
Wait,
he was
what?
on the phone.
How the fuck? He got a black voice?
What?
Does macaroni and cheese have a very distinctive black voice? Do you know he's black if you hear his voice on the phone?
Probably.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
I don't. Sure. So it was me and one of our mutual friends who we're no longer friends with. Not necessarily because of this exact moment.
But that didn't
there
help.
was some other stuff. This was on the list
Right.
of reasons. And he just like threw it out.
He called him one?
Hard ER.
Or he was just...
Called him one.
Damn.
And I just went, so, and was like, you tell him I'm...
I'll delete it.
Macaroni and cheese said, off the video too.
I got you.
Macaroni and cheese said, oh, I'm coming to kill you.
Damn.
And he hunted for him for a long time, couldn't find him.
Why did he call
I'll
him
never
one?
forget that. Who knows? Being,
Were they
being an
arguing?
idiot. Who knows? They were arguing. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh.
Who cares?
He gonna tell me off camera.
I honestly,
okay.
I genuinely, the only thing I remember is him saying it.
I'm gonna fuck him up. Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese's reaction.
2 times. Lord.
You gotta
All
find both of them.
I got you around the 25, 26 minute mark. I got you.
But yeah, macaroni and cheese on the hunt.
Yeah. Especially if you're my friend.
For hours. Like a couple of hours, I
Yeah.
think. Oh, yeah.
You're my friend and you're white and you had the audacity to call me that? Yeah, we gonna fight.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to be my friend.
We do have a friend that I think he has permission from macaroni and cheese.
He got a black card?
To say the A.
Okay.
To macaroni and cheese.
But not call him one.
But sometimes he says it to other people. And I don't know if it goes over well with them or not.
You know what's funny? I had a friend while I was in the military. He was a younger guy, super cool. Haven't talked to him in years. He was white.
Uh-huh.
And he would use it around me, which I didn't really have a problem with because he was like this super immersed in black culture. I love, like, not fake woke, like he genuinely, but I noticed he didn't use it when other black people were around. And I wasn't sure, was he using it just because I didn't really have a big problem with it?
You gave him permission.
No, I never verbally was
what
like,
I mean is, when you didn't say anything,
he felt
you
comfortable enough
said,
to,
you can say this to me.
Without saying
with
it.
your
Yeah,
silence.
yeah. And so, but I found it odd that around other black people and me, he didn't say it.
But that's because he's smart.
But if you can just make sure you don't say it around other black people, why are you using it around me? And after a while, I realized I should have said something in the beginning.
But probably for him, it's probably because he thought we're comfortable with each other.
I get that.
On a different level.
Yeah. We were.
I'm not with just random black person that walks
right.
up.
But the other thing is, if you think it's, even if, to me, if you can't say it in front of everybody, you probably shouldn't say it. And I should have said something.
I don't say it at all.
I
hear you.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying? Like if you are uncomfortable or whatever negative adjective you want to use, if you don't feel comfortable enough saying it in front of the majority, and I'm not talking about like you're venting, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something like if you need to get some venting.
Could I say it venting?
No, what I'm saying is I do understand there's a different dynamic with me and you in the not recording the podcast and we're having a conversation, you're getting something off your chest, not the N-word, but just your personal business. There's a difference. I do understand, hey, I need to get something off my chest. Can I talk to you? And you don't want the majority to hear your personal business. But if you don't feel comfortable surface stuff, saying in front of, if you can't be like, oh, what's up, my nigga, in front of the majority, you probably shouldn't exclusively say it when just me and you talk.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? That means you know there's something wrong with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
I
should
should
have
have special pass.
See, and I never directly
but you did
without
realizing
exactly
because with your silence you said, all right. Because I think we all do that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like when you're becoming friends, you might say, I hate her.
Yeah.
And it'll be something real small like that.
Yeah.
And you test
the boundaries.
The other person's response. When they go, oh, no, I really like her. You're like, well, I can see that.
Yeah.
But then you're like, I ain't about to tell you who else I hate.
Exactly.
But if you're like,
that bitch ain't shit. Yeah.
I hate her. And you're like,
and I agree.
Fuck her. And I go,
hell yeah.
What about this one over here? You know what I'm saying? Like once the green means go, you're like, oh, we're in it now.
We got the same mindset.
Right.
Let's go. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, maybe. But I was thinking more in that direction. Like, this is something that shows that we're close. Like in his mind, I'm just guessing.
Because he never called me one. He used it the same way I use it. Man, these niggas crazy. Or, man, you know what I mean? And just, but at the same time, I probably should have, hey, man, I know that you don't mean nothing bad behind it, but let's leave that word alone. That's just for me. That's for my community. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know. I mean.
Well, and I will say, I don't know the exact ages, but the millennials younger than us.
Yeah, they use it recklessly.
White, black, but you know where it comes from? For the people that I know, where it comes from is Cat Williams.
What do you mean?
He got really popular around that time for his comedy.
For the
He was like super popular during that time.
We're millennials.
I mean, millennials younger than us.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe, I don't know, 20 to 29.
Okay.
Let's say 20 to 30.
Damn, we old.
We are old. But let's say 20 to, well, I guess 20 would be more Gen Z, but whatever the youngest
version of our generation.
Up to 30. Maybe a little older than 30. That group, they throw that word out all the time like it's nothing. White, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, whatever, it don't matter. Yeah. Who cares? But a lot of that, my understanding, a lot of that came from Cat Williams' popularity was so big during that time. Mm-hmm. And that was, he used that word a lot in his comedy.
But he's also black.
Correct.
See what I'm saying?
But because he was so popular.
Oh, he was booming.
They were reciting his jokes.
Oh, and because it has it in the joke.
Correct.
You just kind of, hey, did you see the new da-da-da? He said X, Y, and Z, and you drop the N-bomb. And depending on the response you get, you just...
And once you're dropping it for everything.
Mm. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Which also takes me back to the rap music.
Yeah, I mean, it is all for me personally. Again, back to just me. I think it's a little hypocritical when rappers get offended by other cultures using the N-word when they're reciting the music. But like I think we said it a while ago. If you only sold rap music to black people, no black rapper would be rich because we're not the majority.
Correct.
So how angry can you really get with other cultures using the word that is included in your music that helps you be financially, you know what I mean? Like you're rich because more than just black people buy your music.
Right.
So how angry can you get if other cultures recite your music? They got N-word all in it.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like that girl that he pulled up on stage.
Yeah. What was she supposed to say?
First of all, she bought tickets to your show.
Let me get some of your goldfish if you don't mind. Thank you, sir.
She bought tickets to your show. So there's money.
Money in your pocket.
She probably bought your album.
Yeah.
Because if she was close enough to the stage to spend that much money,
it wasn't 50
She bought the album.
Yeah, fuck yeah, she bought the album. The album is much cheaper than them front row seats.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, if she was close enough for you to see her, pull her up on stage, she spent a lot of money.
Fuck it. Her or her parents. Somebody spent some money.
Somebody spent the money. Whoever. Yeah. Somebody spent money.
Probably $500.
Right. So I mean.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So isn't it almost hypocritical? Not entirely, but.
Well, I mean, it could be seen that way. Yeah.
Because Kendrick, for that example, Kendrick is very pro-black. Like he's not fake woke. He's like aware. He's not woke. He's aware. He's very conscious.
Yeah. Conscientious.
There you go. Conscientious. Whatever. Yeah. Conscientious rapper. But you know what I mean? And so I don't know. Like, do you give out limited passes to your circle?
I guess.
See what I'm saying?
Well, but I mean, the problem with it is like macaroni and cheese.
I was about to say his name just to give you a hard time. I got you.
He did it. And it may have just been, it may not have been a formal, here is your inductee pass.
Right. Is your ghetto pass.
Right. It could have just been, he never said anything. And so it probably became okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. But oh yeah, he'll say it to other people.
Even currently?
Oh, like in a restaurant.
They ain't even black?
Oh yeah.
Yo, nigga, give me something to drink.
Something like that. Oh yeah.
Give or take.
To that effect.
Yeah.
And I guess the person's just like,
okay.
Well, hell.
That black dude didn't say nothing.
Right.
Right.
You're his friend.
It is what it is, yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah. Well, but I think the problem with that is, in a lot of ways, the more it's being said and the more it's in the music, it becomes normalized.
Yeah. But I would say, we've got to get away, in my opinion, we've got to get away from normalizing or saying the phrase, we have to normalize XYZ. Because if you want to normalize it, just do it.
Okay.
Give
me an example.
Okay, people talk about breaking generational curses, which I believe in. I do think, for example, alcoholism. It runs in my family on both sides. So I can understand somebody saying the concept, not the sentence, but the concept of we have to normalize breaking generational curses. I understand what that means. But I don't think we have to label it or box normalize breaking generational curses. Just do it. You know what I mean? Because if you want to make something normal, you have to make it a habit. Does that make sense?
Why don't you give me another example?
That was a bad example? I know I'm not good at it.
That was a lofty example. Let's start with maybe a little more basic of an example.
I don't know. I'm going to use a stupid example. Let's normalize brushing our teeth. Just brush your teeth.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? Make brushing your teeth a habit and it will become the norm. It doesn't have to be put it in this box. Brushing your teeth is a normal thing that we need to normalize. Or even if it's not a normal thing, if you make a habit out of something.
I would say to normalize it, it would have to be abnormal, quote unquote.
And depending on your community or where you come from or how you're raised, it may not be something abnormal. It may be abnormal to, for example, the Asian community.
Okay.
Look, you're like, oh, please don't rake them through the coals. I don't have nothing bad to say.
I don't know where you're going.
No, so I know. This is, again, terrible analogy. Everybody knows I suck at them. Asian community typically uses chopsticks, right? That's their norm.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
See, it ain't nothing fucked up. It's something regular. Okay. If I go, let's normalize using chopsticks when we eat food. If we just start using chopsticks and get in the habit of using chopsticks, we don't have to normalize it. It just becomes our norm.
But that is normalized.
But it's not abnormal. It's just not something my culture is familiar with.
That would make it abnormal.
Only to my little segment of the world, not the entire world.
Correct.
I hate you. What I'm saying is it's...
Really?
But we got to think, we can't keep basing things on micro or macro. Hey! Did I go...
Tell me about that.
I hate him. The macro is... The macro is the bird's eye view. The micro is the ant's perspective. No, not the ant. Well, yeah. See, you're making me look real stupid. I hate you.
I didn't do anything.
I learned it in my not social studies.
Microbiology class?
Fuck
I'm kidding.
This nigga crazy. No, but no, I learned it in my sociology class.
Crunch.
I don't care. They can see me eating goldfish. Eating the shit out of them. They say, I don't even need a sponsorship. These bitches good. I love goldfish.
But the snack that smiles back.
You stupid.
So do you know how long it took me to figure out what that meant?
What?
That they literally are goldfish that have a smile on their face. I did not understand that forever.
You ever had the pretzel ones?
No.
Bussin'. I'm sorry. They're very delicious.
Bussin'.
Yeah.
A white girl sings that song.
She didn't come up with the word. Anyway, continue.
She normalized it.
Did she? For y'all's community.
But I think to say the word normalize, you have to say, let's normalize this thing. What I mean is, like, for going back to your example of generational gaps.
Curses.
Generational curses.
Like bad shit that's been passed
on. Gotcha. Addiction.
Yeah.
Poverty cycle. Breaking the poverty cycle. That should be the norm.
The poverty cycle or not
breaking
doing
it.
Okay, yeah.
For everyone. That should be the norm. But the problem is it's not happening.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about it, the only way to talk about it is to say we need to normalize it.
But it don't need to be an announcement. Just make it a habit of doing what is not the past.
But you have to say this needs to happen for these reasons, whatever the reasons are.
You think so?
I mean, how else do you say it?
No, I mean, I don't think you have to say, hey, by the way.
We're currently not saying it, and it's not happening.
Yeah, but saying it doesn't mean you're going to do it.
But the odds are increased.
Why?
Because we're now saying it. We're now talking about it. It's sort of like...
Is it like I'm putting you on notice that we need to stop this poverty cycle?
Not necessarily, but it's sort of like when somebody, like, I forgot his name.
Was he?
He wrote a book about being an abused child.
Tyler Perry?
Really? No.
He was abused as a child.
Oh, no. This was a white person.
Oh, that cycle?
But he was like abused and neglected. It was awful.
Okay.
But he wrote a book about it. But because he wrote that book and that book became such a huge bestseller, all these people started getting help for their abuse that they had been through.
Okay.
Like going to therapy, working through these things to try to better their lives and not let what their parents did to them still affect them today. But had he not wrote that book, that wouldn't have happened.
But see, I don't think you have to make normalizing something positive an announcement. If you want to do something better, do something better. I don't think you have to label it as we're making it the norm, because unhealthy shit isn't the norm anyway. Alcoholism is not supposed to be the norm. You're not supposed, just walk with me. Addictions are not the norm. They're the norm because we have become accustomed to them. But being addicted to shit that's bad for you is not normal. What? I hate you. You see what I'm saying though? Like being abused is not normal. Just because we are accustomed to it doesn't mean it's normal. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Something a bad experience, just because we are familiar with it happening, doesn't mean it's supposed to be the norm. Like if I wasn't abused as a child, but I'm just hypothetically, if I was abused by my parents growing up, just because it's happened and we've heard of stories of it happening, doesn't mean that's normal. Being abused is not supposed to be a normal thing. You see, do you get what I'm trying to say?
But you could also use that as we don't need to normalize abuse.
Yeah, but abuse ain't supposed to be normal anyway. Like something traumatic, trauma's not supposed to be normal.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm expressing it the right way. I'm just saying like being abused as a child is not supposed to be a normal thing anyway. So saying, let's normalize not being abused, well, duh, you shouldn't be getting abused. That's not what children are supposed to do.
But how else do you talk about it though?
I don't know.
What you're talking about is if you're out there.
No, I'm not belittling.
If you're out there and you have addiction in your family and you don't want to be the next addict, break the cycle.
Yeah, but just break the cycle by doing something different.
But how else do you talk about it?
I don't know. I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm just saying.
But you don't like the word normalize.
I guess because I think it's overused.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of words like that.
Of course.
It becomes a buzzword.
Toxic masculinity. There's several. I can't think of none now because I'm on the spot. But there's a long list of words that are overused. But continue.
Just real quick, derail. Toxic masculinity.
It's overused.
It's overused because it's misunderstood.
Yeah. It's not applied correctly, which is probably the same thing you just said.
That's usually what you do.
But of course.
But it's misunderstood by the people that don't want it to be talked about. That's the problem.
What you mean?
The people that are overusing the word toxic masculinity are the people that don't think toxic masculinity is real because they misunderstand what it actually means.
Wait, say that. You saying the people who use the word don't actually understand the word? Is that what you just said? I'm not being funny. I want to make sure I fully.
You're being funny.
I hate you.
Toxic masculinity is overused.
Right.
Because the people that don't think toxic masculinity is real
gotcha.
are overusing it. The problem is they're also not using it. They've misunderstood the definition of it, what it means.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No, I thought you said that people who do understand it are overused. That's okay. I got you.
Yeah, but that's why it's overused, is because the people that are like, no, that's not real, are overusing it and trying to. See, this is what happens when one group of people are like, no, we don't believe in that.
Okay,
I'll give you. This is sort of a sad example. Right. People that think that rape is overly reported.
Ain't no such thing, but continue. To me.
Over the people that are, the group of people that are like, all these reports of rape, people are making this up. They are citing the 3 cases that were national news that were fake.
Oh, like we said, the 99.
They don't, correct. Yeah. They don't cite any of the millions of cases that were 100% real.
And nobody gave a shit. Yeah.
And nobody gave a shit about.
Yeah.
They find these 3.
To discredit the other ones, yeah.
To discredit million.
Yeah.
So that same sort of idea. If you want toxic masculinity to continue, which a lot of people do, they also they don't fully understand what it means and how bad it really affects people. But they overuse the word, so it desensitizes the word.
Yeah, because sometimes you can just hear me out. Sometimes you can just have chivalry, and I don't need nobody to hold my motherfucking door. I'm independent, and you're like, I'm not being masculine, toxic masculine. I just have manners.
But that's not toxic
masculinity. I know, but people would apply that to.
They will say that.
Yeah, I opened your door. I don't need no motherfucking help. You're like, I didn't say you were.
That wasn't toxic masculinity, and it's like,
I just opened the door.
No, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
But you're the one that said it. You, the toxic masculine person, are saying the word
and not
wrong.
Applying it correctly.
You're saying the word.
Right.
You're also saying it wrong.
Yes.
But you're also but there's a part of that is, it's sort of like we talked about the chisel. Somebody goes, stop doing that. That's gay.
Oh yeah.
Don't cry. Be a big boy. Don't do this. They praise anger.
Yeah.
Use your anger to hit the ball better, or throw the ball harder, or whatever.
Which doesn't actually help.
Which doesn't help at all. It goes all over the place. But those are real toxic masculinity things. But whatever.
But that mutes a man who needs to get things off his chest, needs to show his emotion, things of that nature, and you end up holding it on the inside because, again, you've been told you're being a bitch, you're being gay, that you're being a pussy, and you're not being a pussy. You need to get some shit off your chest too.
Right. But you hold it in, and that becomes
toxic masculinity.
Toxic.
Yes.
So anyway, all that to say, the problem is any group that says that doesn't want something to happen or be normalized, they overuse it to discredit it, or they find 3 examples of a million that discredit it, quote unquote. But you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But essentially it's to keep the same people down who are already down.
Yeah.
It's the chisel. My example of the chisel was, don't do that. Don't do this. You now do the chisel yourself.
Yeah.
So once you've, black women, once you've pigeonholed black women for so long, they're now pigeonholing themselves.
Yeah. Because that's all you've heard. You get beat down over and over and over.
So now the oppressor that was originally chiseling away doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Because now they're just chiseling each other.
And put the mindset on you.
Right. And passing that to the next group, to the next group, to the next group.
It's almost like I hate the phrase, but it does make sense. Hurt people.
Correct. But to me, that would be where normalize. We need to normalize things like it's okay to cry.
Yeah. Oh, I watched Coda the other day. I cried. I was just trying to say that I was.
But normalize.
Yeah. But you can't be crying all the time now. You can't be, ooh, I stepped my pinky toe.
Why not?
It's a fucking pinky toe.
Hurt.
I don't give a shit. The other word I wanted to emphasize was problematic. Fuck you. No, yeah, you see it. Problematic. I think that's another overused word that initially had a real meaning behind it. Now it doesn't. To me, it doesn't.
Yeah. Because everybody's problem.
Yeah. Even though they might not be problematic. They may just disagree.
But again, one of the tools.
I'm eating the shit out your goldfish.
One of the tools.
Oh, my bad. I'll leave you to.
One of the tools.
The tools of goldfish.
One of the tools that the majority uses.
Yeah.
Is to take you're going to use this word. It has a little power to it. Let's just beat this word to death. Now it has nothing.
No power. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah. So how do you
normalize
that? But what I'm saying is though, how do you differentiate? I left you to. Somebody's knocking on the door. Oh, that was the bowl. I was like, holy shit, somebody. I left you to. Damn it. We got some more to get. Anyway. So how do you, instead of just having to use the word normalize, how do you just put it into practice? Make a habit out of it. I know you just expressed it, but I'm saying to remove that word.
Audience members, I just need you to go back and say, what timestamp was it that I asked that same question?
I hate him.
30 minutes ago.
I don't have an answer. I was hoping maybe you have an answer, Dr. Phil.
I asked you the question. I'm the one that asked in the beginning.
I'm throwing it back to you. Shit, because I ain't got no answer for it.
There's no other way to say it. I think that's why the word normalize is the word that gets used. How do we make it a habit? How do we do it? How do we make it to where people are like, this is great. Let's continue doing this. All of that goes back to the definition of normalize.
Yeah, but just because you say it don't mean you're going to make it your norm.
I don't think.
I'm going to the gym doesn't mean I'm going to get my ass up and go to the gym.
We need to normalize
I need
going
to go to the gym. I hate you. We need to normalize going to the gym.
But what I'm saying is, but you're making fun of the word that I'm using. You're overusing the word to make it have no meaning to come
because
from
it has no meaning to me because people have overused it.
But you're the one overusing it.
I'm for this conversation, but in the real
But you
life,
just did it.
Well, yes.
You on a small scale just did micro? What I said on the macro scale.
I hate you. but no, I'll just for this conversation, yes, I've overused. But in real, like in the world, on the macro, we as a society have overused it. And it doesn't have the same.
I never hear this word.
Really?
I never hear this word.
You got to get out more.
I just
only take his ass outside of county. Outside of county.
So stupid. So stupid.
I almost choked on a goldfish.
But no, because I don't. I'm not on the media.
The what?
The media.
Oh, how you said media?
The media.
What the fuck is that?
I'm not on the media.
You on one of, well, yeah.
I don't watch anything.
I know. You don't even watch Only shit. I'm just talking shit. I said you don't even watch Only's shit as in his story, but I was joking.
Oh, I go on.
I know.
There. I don't
regularly.
Half the time know what
you
it is.
You normalize going to his page.
No, I just, I'd go through the bubbles. And if he happens to be one of the bubbles.
Which is the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so do we just make it the norm or do we call it out and say normalize X, Y, and Z?
Well, I think the first step is to say, let's normalize blah, blah, blah.
But then do we continue to keep saying normalize, or do we actually put something into effect? Make, what's the expression? Put our words into action.
Is that an expression?
I don't know. There's an expression.
Put your money where your mouth is.
There you go.
Okay. I was like,
he just be leaving me hanging.
I was like,
floundering. I can't swim. You be like, hey, stay your ass out there, nigga.
Look, I was trying to find a word.
Stay out there, N-word. You got it. I just be drowning.
Well, I
normalize drowning, motherfucker.
The problem was
that'd be David's episode. Normalize drowning, mofo.
The problem was earlier in the week, I needed a word, and you just sat there.
I didn't know what the fuck you was talking about. What do you want me to do? Make up some shit?
Anyway, I didn't know what you were trying to say either. But then you said it, I went, that doesn't really sound like a saying.
I know of the saying,
I was like,
but I can't
is it a saying?
Put it together. So you fixed it. There you go. Good job.
Well, I was going to say,
okay.
I learned about the action cycle.
Action cycle. Okay, continue.
Okay, it's a cycle. It's a circle.
Okay.
But the problem is, like, let's say, I don't remember exactly what the action cycle says. Sorry, look it up.
Action cycle or poverty cycle?
Action cycle.
Okay.
So what happens is, like, let's say step 1 is identify there's an issue.
Okay.
Then step 2 is pull people together from multiple perspectives to discuss said issue.
Okay.
Then step 3 is develop a plan of action from this group, plan of action that benefits the most people possible.
Okay.
Then the 4th step is do action plan.
Okay.
What I learned was we have a tendency in this country to go identify a problem, action, action, action.
Even though that might not help.
We didn't do any of these other steps.
Build up to that.
We just rolled right to the action.
Yeah. Military does it too.
Well, so the problem with that is, for example, Black people at a certain point in this country, post-slavery, were being hired. Their unemployment rate was a substantially higher percentage than those of their white counterparts.
Yeah.
The reason was racism.
Yeah. Not to you,
and prejudices.
Duh, for those who's listening.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So what they did was, the government goes, the problem is we want unemployment to be a low number for everyone.
Yeah, across the board, yeah.
So they said, so they went, identify the problem. Action is affirmative action. Without any thoughts to it, affirmative action.
Yeah, just because you throw money at it doesn't mean you fix
right, which is what we do all the time.
Yeah.
So that's just one example. Well, if they would have taken the action cycle steps,
right,
we would have probably still gotten to affirmative action, but it would have been a more robust thing,
a thought out thing
that had a full plan, not just
here
some
money.
Let's see if y'all fix it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but that relates to the poverty cycle. Because if you think about it, there is, and not just this is not race-based, this is just poverty, period.
Uh-huh.
Americans go through a lot of just continuous poverty cycle. Like literally people will go, I've been on Section 8, I'm on food stamps, and it just generationally continues.
Right.
Like there's grandmas, moms, and daughters, just, we all been on government assistance, and we're just going to keep being on government assistance.
Right.
And we have to kind of, a little bit of what we was just talking about, kind of like normalize not depending on government assistance. But at the same time, if you don't have the resources, how do you get away from that?
Right.
How do you break out of that? Because if you don't know anything but what you've generationally been passed down with, you kind of stuck in there. And it does take more than just normalize not using government assistance. But if nobody gives you any tools or any like actual resources, not just an EBT card and a Section 8 check, like genuine, real resources, you might be stuck.
Right.
And how do you get out? I know we don't have the answer for it, but just what would it take to even take the first steps to get out of that cycle? To go loop-de-loop over and over. And you're like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this shit.
Uh-huh.
I want to do a little bit better. Not even become a millionaire, but just do better than that.
Right.
How do you get away from that? Do you take
education?
Absolutely.
Would be
totally,
one part. I mean, I feel like education sort of is the blanket.
The more you know, the better. Reading Rainbow. The more you know.
The more you know, and Rainbow. Star with a rainbow behind it.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Stupid. But you know what I mean? And that will, because I give you a prime example. Story time. Hey, derail. So I can't say where I went, can't say who I was around. I'm going to just put it this way. Was around people that I love and care for, may or may not have been family members, may or may not have been friends. Y'all don't need to know. Anyway, so we having a good cookout. We shooting the shit, having a good time, grilling, blah, blah, blah. Me and male counterpart and secondary counterpart having a great time. Grilling, shooting the shit. So first counterpart, I know this person, don't know the second person. I wish I gave y'all more details. In a nutshell, the second guy, I asked him, hey man, what do you do for a living? He was very vague. He didn't tell me nothing of what he did. He just said basically he got a job, he's comfortable, having a good life, he got kids, wife, cool. Outstanding. We all compile ourselves down to the basement because my daughter is, I want to play Mario Kart. I want to play Mario Kart. We all competitive. Counterpart A, the first person, yes, personally, may or may not be related to us, may or may be a friend, may or may not be a friend. Talking shit, not cursing, but talking junk with my daughter. I'm gonna kick your butt on Mario Kart. Get this business. We go down to the basement. Very nice basement. Got a tennis table. Ping pong table. Excuse me, I said tennis table. Ping pong table. Weight room. Whole entertainment area. We all sitting down there. We having a great time. Second counterpart, male counterpart, this gentleman, all of us are playing Mario Kart, passing around the remote, having a great time. So the second person leaves the home that we are all in. First counterpart, this gentleman says, yeah, man, it was great. We had a good time. I'm like, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Who is that guy? He says, hey, he is third in command in a very lucrative franchise that everybody that's listening to is familiar with, has been to this establishment.
In the Fortune 500.
Absolutely. Come to find out, I was playing Mario Kart with a millionaire.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what the fuck? Hold on. You telling me person A that person B is a millionaire and we down here like regular human beings playing Mario Kart. Person A says, yes, sir. We had a great time, didn't we? I said, yes, he was very down to earth. Why didn't you tell me this man is a millionaire so that I can get some tips on how to become a millionaire so that I'm no longer not a millionaire? How do I get tips to no longer not be a millionaire?
Oh, I think you forgot the second not.
Did I?
I think you did. Anyway.
I might have. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, speaking of the poverty cycle.
But here's the thing, though.
Yes, sir.
Had you started digging for tips, it wouldn't have been a good time.
You don't think? Well, I wouldn't have made it weird. I meant like maybe throw a hint like, hey, I don't want to be broke no more. How are you no longer broke? What'd you do? I'm not that blatantly, but I'm just saying, we normalize playing Mario Kart.
I love that me and the audience are like,
I'm tired of you looking at this camera. I'm going to knock yours down.
Me and the audience know.
I'm full of shit. We going to get these tips. Hey, bro, you a millionaire? Correct. I'm not. What'd you do?
I guarantee you, if he'd have been a millionaire, you'd have been like, for what? How did you do that? It would have never crossed your mind to suddenly dig for a tip.
Because I'm nosy with good intentions. But the intentions are good. So that's all that matters. But no, all jokes aside, that shows me that person A, and I really wish y'all knew who I was talking about. He knows who I'm talking about, but y'all don't need to know.
I have no idea.
Yes, you do.
I don't know these people.
But you know who I'm referring to. So
I know the unedited story.
Yes, you do. So person A is the mentee of person B. But person A is also doing very well. They made 6 figures last year just in investments, not their salary. And so I am reaching out to person A to learn the ways so that I too can be on track to person B. Person B's financial situation. I'm sure all this shit I just said the last 7 to 10 minutes, nobody gets what the hell I'm saying. But either way, I played Mario Kart with a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. And person A is the mentee of said Mario Kart millionaire. Okay. Did any of that make sense? You just keep looking at me like I'm an idiot.
I know the unedited version of the story. Yes. So yes, it all made sense to me because I know.
You know how to add you fill in the blanks.
I don't know anybody's name.
Yeah.
You know I don't remember. I'm not good with that.
But yeah, those are things, if you affiliate yourself, and obviously you're not going to knock on the door and be in the room with millionaires.
Yeah.
But I think that not being delusional to the fact of hanging around people or regularly associating with people who are in the mindset of being comfortable with having not nothing, but just being comfortable with being comfortable. You can't just say, hey, I want to be rich and just speak it into existence. You have to do something different. If you want something different, you have to do something different. Does that make sense?
So what are you doing differently?
He ain't shit. Talking to person A so I can start investing and work towards making 6 figures in investments in 1 year that is totally separate from my annual income. I'm working on that.
Okay.
So I can make them steps to normalize no longer not being a millionaire.
Okay.
Let me say it again so it soak in a little bit deeper. To normalize no longer not being a millionaire. You're patronizing the shit out of me. And I'm done with you.
First of all,
yes, sir.
I know the unedited story.
Yes.
So in my mind, I'm sitting here going, all right, hold on, wait, this moving parts. Yes. I'm getting all the moving parts.
Well, I had to summarize it really fast to not drag the story out. At the end of it all, I played Mario Kart with a millionaire, and the other person A is working towards being a millionaire, and I'm trying to be like person A and B.
Okay. So are you going to teach me?
Fuck yeah. We got to get this money, bro. My nigga.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
Absolutely.
Well, I think what's fascinating with all of that is,
yes, sir.
That would, if I did have money.
Yeah. He got money. He just don't want y'all to know.
I have no money. If you're watching the video, I just cleaned this table.
I cleaned the table. I got here before he did.
No. I mean, it had a lot more stuff in it before you.
Oh, damn.
Like I cleaned the table. I cleaned the table because Only told me to clean the table.
Ain't no wrong.
And I went,
clean the table.
I was like, you're probably, no. I was like,
I need to get my elbows off the table.
No. I was like, you're probably right. I've sort of put it off for a while. So I cleaned off the table.
Okay.
So it was already. Anyway.
Would I be wrong if I go pee while you say what you're going to say?
Are you kidding me?
It's been an hour and 6 minutes.
You don't have to pee.
I got to pee like a motherfucker.
You do not have to pee.
All right, go ahead.
You know you don't.
I got to pee.
You don't. You don't have to pee.
The water. Go ahead.
You don't have to pee.
Then tell your story.
I've drank more water in the last time, and I'm not even got water.
Whatever. Continue.
Well, I've done forgot what I was saying.
No, we're talking about the normalizing. I want to work. You remember he said,
oh, so here's the thing. If I did have money.
He's got money.
I would want to be like the guy that you had no clue he had money.
Yeah, because he like regular as hell.
Right. I want to be that person.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I buy my clothes at Walmart and Bell.
Ain't no wrong with that.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's who I want. Even whether I have money or not have money, I want to still be that person.
Yeah.
But that was all I was.
That's it.
That's it. Well, if you wouldn't have interrupted me with your pee break and then tried to say other stuff.
Well, I said just talk and I'm going to run to the bathroom.
You see what I do?
Every day. But, about 4 times a week. Anyway, so do you think putting yourself around people who have this Mario Kart millionaire, not mindset, I know I said that jokingly, but do you think, because I think person A affiliating himself with person B, I don't know how they became friends. That's not my business. But, and again, I'm not saying diss all your broke ass friends just because you're broke. You know what I mean? Not you, but a person.
It's sort of like.
This is a good time to pee while you talk?
Why not?
Hey, I'll be right back. Continue.
It ain't going to be able to drop anyway.
Shut
up. You heard that, right? That he said, shut up. Just say it. All right, there go. Buster's coming, follow behind you. I don't forgot what I was going to say. I don't know what I was going to say. The Mario Kart with a millionaire. Well, oh boy. Well, this ought to be good. What was I going to say? He's already done. I told you it wasn't going to be but a drop. Well, this has been real. Alrighty. Well, I forgot what I was going to say, and he's not here to remind me and put me back on the train tracks. So we have an email address, nosey@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out through email. We also have an Instagram, nosey_with_good-intentions. I told you it was going to be just a drop. I forgot what I was going to say, and you couldn't hear me to help me remember what I was going to say.
That's okay.
So I'm closing the episode out.
Oh, you are? Okay, that's fine. We've been going an hour and 9 minutes. Okay.
Instagram, Nosey_with_good-intentions. I genuinely, because you kept talking about having to pee, I have no idea. And then you left and I went, boy, this is going to be good.
I said, hey, do you think you should affiliate yourself with those that already have, even if they're not millionaires, but should you affiliate with people who have a millionaire mindset do you hang out with people who have done it? Or do you keep hanging out with people who talk about doing it?
All right, I've already closed the episode out. Nosey with good intentions on the Instagram.
You going to Cuzzo's house?
At Gmail. Gotta talk to Cuzzo. We've got a YouTube. This video is going to be up here. Boy, that's going to be a good watch.
I hate you. We're taking applications for other co-hosts. He's going to replace me.
We have a TikTok, Nosey with good intentions, and we have a Twitter, Nosey good.
I hate you.
Because Nosey podcast apparently was already taken. So Nosey good on the Twitter. So anyway,
thank you for being nosy.
See you next time.